Hello again. After so long, we are so back with reading the Harmony Hollow incidents. Now, I have no excuse for this taking so long, other than me being lazy. So yeah, we're reading the drumsticks. It's a nice flavor. Messages of loss, but the trauma, bullying, manipulation, transmission, female to male, THHI, partial mind change, and NS body, etc. So yeah, if we go back over here, so denies is going from this to this. This. I can see. I can see the similarities. Whatever. Let's just get to this. I've counted the votes. Well, there's only one vote, so it's probably a good thing to land on deny of arm. Actually, it's Denise. Okay, okay, that's Denise. Okay, Mickey snickered, and she decided that she was going to have to come up with a new plan. So it's time for Plan B. Yeo time. Meanwhile, with Denise was struggling to figure out why people are disappearing so fast. That's and left to right. Why would they enter the battle? But you have to use to turn people into monsters because it's a TF saga. Something needs to be happening. She noticed that her best friend's father was using the same Reddit account she read through his DMs. Hey Denise, I was doing the rockets from my daughter, your best friend. It's strange that there's been ruins on there, and I think that Nora has an understanding of language called monstrous. So, Mr. Rothschild, what do you... Rothschild. The Rothschilds! No, I'm not. This channel is not being controlled by the Rothschilds, I promise. Mr. Rothschild, what do you think it says? Denise asks, typing as she spoke. I've been looking online about this foreign language. Well, it's not a real language. How can you understand it? I've noticed that I read the first person who touches this will become one with the earth element. I don't know why that would be on the rock that I studied, but I don't understand why would my supervisor tell me to have this rock early. Did he realize that the geologist was literally studying with her, trying to justify the supernatural phenomenon that was happening around this town? Other scientists would laugh afterwards. Denise hasn't been getting too much of a good night's rest lately, even after she left the marching band years ago after the incident that scarred her for life. That incident. Wait, was this one of the previous TFs, or is this something else that was not seen? I didn't help that the phenomenon was keeping her up. Okay, so it was something else. Keeping her interested in her subreddit. One Reddit post after another. Denise had the penchant and for keeping people informed about the latest weird things happening around Harmony Hollow. Only a few locals and some outsiders knew fully and embraced the subreddit's culture. People believed in the supernatural and how it was affecting the physical world. So Harmony Hollow is just another Gravity Falls, okay? And plus if Deerville isn't Washington like an OP, a state next to that is Oregon, which is where Gravity Falls is. Why are Oregon and Washington targets of these things? Normal people would call her insane and are trying to get her locked up. Denise's room, the only room apart from her rafters and her stepmother's room that had a lock. It was safe from the wicked, yet blind eye. The truth, I have Mrs. Kaylin Zimmerman. The Zimmerman telegram, the things that Germans used to try to get Mexico to attack America during World War I. I may not be saying, but I'm motherfucker low-key insane. After her mother had passed away, her father had remarried to Zimmerman, and things had gone downhill. Shortly after the remarriage, a few years after, her father joined her mother in heaven, her alone with the wicked stepmother. Unlike Denise, Zimmerman wasn't very fond of the supernatural and called it the devil! The devil! I'm giving Zimmerman a German accent because, well, as I said earlier, by being one of the most evil people in Harmony Hollow. Denise was afraid of her stepmother, not even bothered to speak up against her, whether it was in her face or online. She only had her friends to confide with, but with the recent events happening around her, she was starting to lose her friends to something worse than Polina and her gang's life. It was rather dehumanizing completely from those transformations that Denise knew about. Denise was scared of what will happen to her, but she didn't cave into anyone's nonsense. Even her stepmother had problems of her own. Denise had watched her stepmother go through or lowers faster in the seasons. Each man was different, better or worse than the last. What was scarier than her stepmother was a traumatizing event that made her do the marching band. It was a few years back in high school during a field trip. Denise was playing and she was passing by building before. Something bad happened. Something really bad happened. Nothing bad ever happens to the Kennedys! A classmate, a girl tripped on some vine that was neglected from the ground here, and then a rock had crushed her legs, putting her classmate in a hospital. What the fuck? The girl could walk in. That scarred Denise. The girl's name was Reese Brown Jr., who's now the programming professor's daughter. Denise had swore off marching band and refused to talk about her past since that fateful age. She was afraid to pick up an instrument, assisted in drumsticks that she once proudly carried. Oh dear, I actually will be getting a few rather angry calls from some parents! Because she's going to turn into this. Denise, now a terrorist. A terrorist took her free time in her room or in other private spaces. Nothing the supernatural occurrences to those close to her, but she wasn't open to her stepmother about her. Her stepmother would call her crazy just by believing in the supernatural. Welcome, Internet! Denise, nuts. Nora's father then sent her another DM. I've heard that there is a person who's been messing with reality. I don't know how true it is or what, but if I were guessing whoever's doing this has to be some gosh occurrence to mess with forces beyond human comprehension. An anthropologist had told me that it is in human nature to be curious about the unknown. She works with me, but I don't know if she would believe you. She's more into the more scientifically grounded stuff. Denise had her eyes widening with interest. Texting her, what is her name? Isn't it Dr. Bethany Berkeley? Look her up and find out who she is and where you can find her. Maybe yes, I'm familiar with some of the MSM stuff. Looking one of some of the paranormal, so we say information. I'm finding out where you go. Okay, I don't know anything about MSM, so yeah. Alright, anyways, back to it. Denise opened up another lab. This time it was said the anthropologist. She looked into her database and noticed on how she is studying people's curiosity. She wasn't formally hollow, but rather just living amongst the Reddit, saying, Bethany, I'm pretty sure I can visit you after school. It would be a shame if I couldn't make it for whatever reason. Denise spoke to herself the next morning. On campus, Shane and Denise were walking over towards class, and Gladys was looking through her phone, looking through tears. Shane, you won't believe this, but I think that Nora's father is giving us a lead on what might be going on around here. Denise went to her boyfriend. Well, I think that would be a good idea to visit whoever this Bethany is, Shane replied. Well, it is said that Dr. Beckley lives at the same hotel, not the rundown ones, but the ones that her superiors had rented out for her, Denise added. And can I ask you something? What is Denny? Denny! Again! Okay, okay, no more OP references. Okay, that's a lie. So yeah, if he happens to be, I want you, Madeline, Pablo, and Cyril, and his gang to run to keep Harmony Hollow weird suburb at Denise. Why the contingency? Shane asks. Well, I've been sensing a pattern here. Either Porter or I will be next. Meantime, until I expect Michaela would talk to me. Denny replied, celebrity starts with are accidents. We are all being targeted for something larger than all of us combined for something more sinister. Yes, sinister? For the real pandemic, humanity! Or some other weird plan going on. Michaela's using powers formed to seek to create monsters from humans. You cannot create a monster or alien being from scratch or thin air. Existing animal energy is needed for that process. Denise added. Maybe that's why Nora, Merlin, and Taylor has been absent from campus. Found themselves back in the auditorium where almost everyone else was present, except for the Mill sisters and the professor. So, like, what took so long, shall we ask? Well, I've been talking to Shane about what's going on. Do you have any idea what's going on, Denise? Are you insane, Denise? Do not spread your whack ideas to anyone else. Danny scoffed at Denise. And weren't you the one of the band geeks back in high school? How did you know? He asked. I don't bring up that horrible memory say there. Huh, she doesn't even like talking about the past. Pathetic. Twiddle snickered, while Paulina and Danny snickered to her as well. Okay, in my story after this, Twiddle will say, wait, you're just like me then. I won't give you spoilers, you're just gonna have to wait for Tweedle TF. Hey, do not mock the eye. She didn't do anything wrong. Quickly stuff. Do you want me to tell the professor? Pfft, nice try, meathead. But I'm afraid of you. My mayor mommy knows the dean. Yeah, no, I said I wasn't gonna do that anymore. I can't help myself, okay? You're not that age. This is what it gets me in the blink of an eye. Please, God. Do you want me to go there? It's Tyler, Karen, much. Quinn snickered, mocking Polina. Pathetic always. Amy using her most hard to get what she wants and to get herself out of trouble. Girl, it's not how life works, Becky. You don't understand. This is the way the world. And people like you don't get to call people out like me, the almighty girl who could never do wrong. Polina crackled. Cackles. Well, cancel culture exists. Chattering flooded the room before the doors opened. Michaela, Miranda, and the professor had entered the scene. Silence watching over the coffee that went to the room. Alright, class, we are going to learn about music theory. Why am I giving her a Mr. Garrison voice? And some new terms that you might not even know. Professor Wilson again. After a long class, Denise was already tired from an hour and 45 minutes of just listening and taking notes. Could have been doing her tears. She didn't want to bring after her stepmother's decision. She and Shane were in the same study room that they were in just a couple days ago. Denise told them that she, Nora, and Shane were there. Nora took to have to call from her father. And that conversation, while Nora was undergoing some strange changes, and the message during her collaboration with the dad of her best friends. It was strange, and Denise didn't know how much time she asked. Hey, Denny, do you still think that Michaela's behind all this? Shane asked. Denise sighed. Yes, it's ordered. Then in front of that we investigate, and I have to address to the woman who would save our skills from whatever havoc that Michaela is wreaking. Denise then noticed that there was a strange figure with red hair tied up into a messy bun with some a dress shirt with some tracks with sweaters. In other words, Denise knew that it had to be someone nerdy. She had to look like one of those banging constant reminder of her traumatic past. Trauma began to race through her veins. She was breathing heavily, faster than a cheetah running in the savannah. Oh no, not that. Anything but that! No! She had managed to let those words escape through her hyperventilating state as she could feel her heart beating faster. Denise, relax, guy! Whatever is troubling you, I'm here for you. Shane hugged Denise and patted her in the back, trying to keep Denise down. Deep breaths, babe. Deep breaths. Deep breaths! She then took some deep breaths, eventually calming down. She looked at Shane. Thank you. I didn't know what I'll ever do without you. My heart could have gave out with all this. She sighed in relief. No problem, Shane replied. Well, I might as well go over and find who this woman thinks she is to bring up my marching band, huh? Denny. So after she walked out of the room, she waited for her. Denise walked through the hallway. She transferred. You? Oh wow! There's art here. Wait, is that Michaela? Hang on. What does it say? Dark green hair. No. Who is this? Are you Denise player? Former from the THHI music match. That voice after it is giving Denise warnings. Red flags. They're telling Denise to run. The room that she entered was way different than they did when she entered. Or earlier. Instead of curtains, it looks like a room with windows. Between interdimensional states, as between the human world and the other. What the fuck? I'm Denise player, and those days are beyond me. Why would you have to bring up these? Well, you've been stressed lately. You've been researching through the interdimensional anomalies and the rift between our world and another. The woman did her homework, but what Denise didn't know was that woman was Michaela in disguise. Oh, okay, it is Michaela. How would you know about my past? Denise asked. Let's say that we go way back before the incident happened. Back in high school, you've been to hard schools marching band. And also, look at these tick legs. Look at these very tick. Look at these very tick legs. I know you've been the hardest schools. The one. Why does the name Reese Brown Jr. ring a bell to you? What did he ask? Don't bring her up. That brings up too many drunk memories. Well, I was just like you. Trauma leaving both of us astray from what we used to love. Wouldn't you want to rekindle your past? Wouldn't you want to learn to love what your lost passion for? Wouldn't you want to be free from your toxic, shitty stepmother? The one who was trying to needle Denise into giving in, essentially stealing away her humanity. Oh, it's Michaela. No wonder it looks someone like Erin. Denise knew that it had someone she knew, someone that was in her class. But sometimes people can sound similar. She even noticed a little different from Michaela. She heard Michaela's voice from her friend's video years back, and it had to be her, right? But even the most skeptical people would have at least succumbed to desire. Denise could feel the strange desire beginning to overwhelm her, clouding her otherwise better judgment, of course. She wanted to rid herself from it. Why would anyone not want that? Usually she wouldn't say yes to a deal like this, giving into whatever, gaslighting that anyone would put through her, but she then looked, when again, this time she revealed her true form. Michaela had shape-shifting abilities. She disguised as one of those band geeks. Michaela said a pair of drumsticks. Come on, freedom is 2 drumsticks away. Don't you want to be free from the trauma, the stress on your stepmother? Wouldn't you like to see your best friend again? The drumsticks. She cannot describe them. If she grabs into it, ends up facing a similar fate as her best friends, and she knew that Nora wouldn't want that. With that, Michaela would leave her alone. This will go on forever, she declines. Denise got up and tried to exit the room, but Drat! Locked! Denise scoffed. You can't leave until you set the deal. How about you welcome your new life with open arms? Michaela stickered as Denise was screaming from. Did I not mention that nobody can hear your cries, not even your precious Shane? Don't worry, I will take care of him soon. You should be lucky that you get to know each other. And you should be lucky that I'm letting you still be friends with Nora in a way. Denise signed defeat. She knew Michaela wasn't going to let her escape. She shouldn't have followed her. Now she's in a hole that she cannot get out of. The temptation was becoming too great as she wished her hands over towards her drumsticks, grabbing them as Michaela smiled and walked out the door. When Denise shut her eyes, she opened them again. Noticed that the room was back to normal. No interdimensional space, the normal classroom that nobody uses anymore. Phew, we've got to warn the others about her. I cannot let her win. Denise felt that shield running down her spine as the drumsticks were one way to lose her humanity. A new life, per se. As some article and the news were coursing through her veins. No, it's starting. No, Shane, Pablo, someone, anyone, help me. Oh wow, literally everyone in a lot of characters in OP said that. Anyone help me. I think it was mainly Ellie, and I think did Lola say something like that? I don't remember. Anyways, let's get the music started already. She saw to herself as she heard the cracking and popping of bones, drawing her attention towards her hands. What the heck? Denise asked as she noticed that there was some fur whispering up her hands. A yellowish cloud fur was a middle and ring fingers emerging. Get away this. Okay, I can kind of see the fur, not too much. Her fingernails turned from the pretty color to brownish color, hardly interrupting the cloth. Wait! About to herself as the forest were after her hands before it made her wrists. Color was picking up the color of orange, almost red color. Similar to red color to her hair. Okay, slightly lighter. Oh, crud. No. Hey, look, red hair, like Willa and Grace. And my Patricia. No, Patricia is blonde. So Denise tried to turn the drumsticks across the room. I didn't want budge. Was there a fine print? The better than them? Something. He said she could not let go of these drumsticks until it was over. Please, make it stop. Denise saw that she was being heavy again. This time she could hear her bones beginning to crack as tears were streaming down her cheek. As if her tears put up her arms, her once careless arms swinging good for her. Denise could already feel her arms widening, some muscle building up, causing her iconic reddish blazer to begin shredding. Her arms taking free from the bed. Darn it! She mumbled to herself as then could feel pain within her abdomen. A strange tightness. She took off her now damaged blazer, not wanting any more damage, as her upper chest flattened. Her midsection began to expand, but it wasn't fat at all. It felt like muscle. Fur was spraying down her torso as down her midsection. The fur turned the same color as her hands. No, 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 no! Ooh! Now, 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 now! Denise could feel her shirt riding up her midsection. Her clothes were starting to keep up with her changes, but something inside her was already like her. That was okay. Monsters are really neat clothes. They're not humans. Suddenly, before she could react to the expansion with her suddenly constantly shoulder, she could feel something shooting at her tailbone from the back of her body. That turned her attention behind her. She noticed something oddly inhuman. It was a tail, resembling some kind of reptiles. With some Rocky's like, what? No, it can't be turning into it. No, it can't be. She knew that it was also familiar. She was turning into one of them, a singing monster, a drumpler to be exact. And she knew that it was only going to get worse someday. She could hear her jeans shorts tearing from the seams. Her legs were the next victims to this change, and bones were beginning to crack and pop. It was bad enough that her shorts were already damaged from the ground tail. The orange's fur continued to spread down her legs, stopping at his feet with a few cracks and pops. Her legs had bent and forced her legs to become more ungalterable than plantigrades. Her feet directing to our circle her into hooves. The legs on her feet continued down from 5 to 2 on each foot, showing the glow windows. This was accomplished by a loud SHRIP! Denise could feel her sneakers and socks tearing through as she hands and feet, yet she could still stand upright like any human being would. For a stomach stopped standing as her orange fur spread up her neck, as she could feel it swinging down, flowing like an accordion, and with a violent snap, her neck was gone, as her head and torso seemed to merge together. Yig! Denise sobs, her once human cries were helping her to something more monstrous as her being became heavier as well. Denise suddenly ringing temporarily filled her hearing as Denise screamed, or at least Denise let out some human yelp. Her ears began more pointing out, obviously less human, as she could feel her eyes beginning to shrink, and her reddish hair reselling itself. I was spiking down and rising up. I felt it in her back inside her. A teeny sensation. As the pain in her body had stopped, all discomfort in her body had just faded away. She shut her eyes withoutly, and when she reopened them, her sclera had took on more two giant look, and her once broken arms is now indistinguishable from her pupils. Her eyes fell onto the floor, and her mouth was a bare eyeder as her bottom canines had struggled to begin to overtake her bottom as her face to the far covering wide. This gave her an undeniable flow of some sort. Her nose flattened, she could still breathe nonetheless, and with a few more coughs and adjustments, her transformation into a rather mammalian bipedal monster that could be, at least physically. Well, time to play the other song. Am I supposed to be like this? This was a nice thought to herself. If she could no longer speak English, but rather monstrous, but it could be expressed in multiple ways. How she would react. Actually, she's using it. But before she could even process what was going on, her head began to pound like crazy. If she could feel her mind beginning to alter, beginning to fog up as well. Denise let her inhuman yelp as she was panicking. The windows was a fire. Denise could feel her human rhythms and blurry beginning to unravel. There's all those theories and that supernatural stuff as well. All those memories of spending time on Reddit. What was Reddit anyways? Memories of ruining. Well, maybe not knowing Reddit is a good thing. Forgetting about Reddit might be a good thing. Anyways, memories of running to keep Harmony Hollow, weird subreddits, putting theories about supernatural impact like Harmony Hollow, spreading thought. But tears like her was in the step away, carrying away like dust until it was only nothingness. As the monster was losing to go over her, she could feel instincts beginning to take over, as something clicked inside of her head. I told her that she's a he, now attacking biology agent her. He could feel the urge to jump as he used his drum to pound on his stomach, but now was hard to rock, or rather as tight as a drum. The sound of a snare drum came from down. As he started to calm down. Why was he so worried about losing himself? Why did he quit drumming? Memories of that incident clouded up before it was just fading away, gathering like dust, as he could feel the memories of the months. Being born from an egg that fell on us, even around word being friends with a nod. As Nora and then Naga will be becoming one of the same. He still kept memories of his family and friends, otherwise they will be sad. Not only he snapped out of whatever mood he was in, they were no longer paranoid tears. She lost so much that Denise was gone. His Trumpler, who was only back to kill the old Denise would ever be. Meanwhile, with Shane was walking down the hall, hearing Denise's cries. He noticed there was currently around the classroom. He took a peek through the door and noticed that there was a Trumpler from my same monster room. It took Shane a while to process this shit, but he realized Denise is now a Trumpler, living her past like the incident never happened. Shane ran for his life, not knowing if Denise still remembers him. He knew that it had to be the work of Michaela. Michaela, you're so going to pay for what you've done in my baby. Shane almost let her breath before going out. So one of the others, the one friends of Jesus, Madeline. Well, that took a while, and my voice is getting a bit tired of doing anything that long. Well, time to upload this and edit it.